Alright guys, this is the season finale of building D-Day in LEGO. This would technically be episode 41, but this is the season finale. We're going to be going in depth. Every detail on this mock we're going to be covering in this video. But before we do that, I want to thank you guys for your continuous support, not only on this channel, but for this mock series. And for all that support, I want to give away one of these custom military Jeeps here. This is one of my wheelies Jeeps, and I'll be giving this away in next video, which will be next Sunday for this mock. All you have to do to have a chance to win this is comment down below. Make sure you guys subscribe to the YouTube channel and leave a like on this video. That's all you have to do. And another thing I wanted to let you guys know is that I added 8 new custom minifigures to my website. So let me show these real quick. These are the ones that are actually on the mock that you'll see here. We have 4 Americans and 4 Germans. So there we have a heavy gunner, a medic class, a SMG gunner, and then a standard rifleman in the American uniforms. And then we also have a heavy gunner for the Germans, a rifleman, a submachine gunner, and then an officer. So all 8 of these minifigures are on my website right now. I'll put a link in the description. They are up for pre-order and they should ship within about a week. Same goes for the military Jeep. This is on my website right now. You can purchase that if you would like to. But if you want the chance to win one, all you have to do is like, comment, and subscribe. Without all that being said, guys, let's start on the beach and let's work our way up on this awesome mock. Okay, everybody, we're going to start off and we're going to talk about kind of the water side of the mock. Then we're going to go to the beach and then we'll move up to the German kind of hillside. So let's start off on this first Higgins boat here. So what we got going on down here is we've got 2 Higgins boats and then we've got a Sherman tank as far as the Americans, and they're coming up on the beach here. And in this first Higgins boat, what we got is we've got the 2 drivers in the back there with their 1919 machine guns, with their shields there, ready to go. They're already shooting at the Germans. We've got the actual driver there with the wheel. We've got a captain in there. If you can see, he's got his 1911 pistol. He's kind of looking over at the other Higgins boats, making sure they're all okay. Then we've got this just fully loaded with Americans here. As you can see, they all got their M1 Garands, their M1 carbines, all their weapons, and they're ready to go. We've got one guy jumping out prematurely because he's saying, you know what, I just saw my whole squad up here get shot by the Germans, I'm dipping out. And then we've got some more guys that had either jumped out or maybe they were from another Higgins boat that's not shown on this mock. But we got them coming up in the water there. You can see he's got a Thompson and a 1911. This guy's got a grease gun. This guy got shot already. He had a trench gun there, a shotgun. And all along in the water here, you'll see these explosion details. These are brick built with just some clear pieces, and they add a lot of detail to the mock, add some more explosion looks. You can see they're all around the mock there. And one thing to highlight on this Higgins boats that I really wanted to show on at least one of these, I did it on this one and not that one, was you see in all the movies and you hear about just when these things hit the beach and that door opened, there was just constant machine gun fire from these bunkers up here, and it's very sad, but because you have basically a steel box and then you have a bunch of Americans or troops in them, and once that door comes down, it's just an open shot to just take a bunch of them out. So I wanted to highlight that here. As you can see, we've got a couple guys that got shot right out of the gate. We got one guy down there that's in the water. His helmet came off there. We've got another guy here face down with his M1 carbine, and some of these guys made it out here. We'll talk about those here in a second, but let's move on to the Sherman tank back here. So we also got some detailing along the beach here that shows, kind of highlights the machine gun fire from the Germans, kind of the bullets hitting the ground in front of them. You can see this guy here got shot in that kind of spray of fire. Got a couple guys moving up there with an M1 Garand. Got some more guys on this side of the Higgins boats with their weapons. They jumped off there in the water trying to get up to the beach. We've got the Sherman tank here. And we've got the guy at the top there with his 1911 kind of directing the tank where to go. We got one guy hiding out behind the turret there, taking some good armored cover there. He's got a Thompson. And then we got a couple more guys back behind here using the tank as some cover as they move up on the beach. Once again, we got some more guys in the water over there. Like I said, explosions everywhere on this mock. And then one thing I wanted to try to highlight is with these landing craft and then with the Sherman tank, in the water, I wanted to add some detail there. So you can see I added some white studs, or clear studs rather, and that kind of shows that the what the Higgins boats, and then the Sherman was kicking up some water and maybe making some waves. So just little details like that definitely add to the mock. You can see that here on the back of this Higgins boats. Once again, lots of explosions going on, mortars, flak fire, everything the Germans have, they're giving it to the Americans. If we take a pan back, you can see all those explosions there. And moving up to this Higgins boat, same thing, we got the pilot or the driver there, then we got the two guys manning the 1919s. This one's fully loaded once again with Americans. These guys are coming off, and you can see all the bullets just hitting that gate or that door there. We got one guy here that landed in the water. He got pretty badly torn up there. Got two more guys that are down. They almost made it to the beach, just didn't have enough cover. We got two more guys back there. One's got an M1 carbine, one's got a Thompson. They're coming up in the water. And I tried to add detail along all this beach here. You can see I added dark tan to kind of symbolize that the sand was getting wet from the water. And then I also added the clear studs to show that maybe some waves were hitting the beach. So, you know, other than that, that's kind of what the water has as far as detail goes. So we got the two Higgins boats, we got the Sherman tank, lots of troops coming up on the beach. We're gonna now move over and we're gonna start talking about the kind of the front of the beach moving up to the base of this mountain. So we're gonna do that right now. Okay guys, now we're gonna move on to kind of just this beach portion. We're gonna start towards the front here and we'll move towards the front of this mountain here. So we're just gonna go in depth and show you guys what every American is doing, all the little details that I didn't show in the mock series itself, and we're gonna go over all of that right now. So let's start up front here. So along the mock, you can see I used a bunch of these tank traps. These are brick built. I showed how to make these. I might do another separate video just on those, just because I've gotten some questions on them. But really, when the Americans, Canadians, all the troops hit the beaches of Normandy, that's all the cover they really had. They had really not a whole lot. It was a very flat beach. It's a very long, deep beach. You know, the distance from the mountains or the cliffs to the water, it's very long. If you look up pictures, it's pretty insane how the distance from the water to the cliff was that they had to make up. And the only cover they really had was all the defenses that the Germans put as far as the Atlantic Wall. There's other obstacles and defenses that I didn't put in this mock simply because of time and I didn't know how to build some of them. You know, they put giant logs and whatnot in the beach to try to deter, tanks and landing craft. But I decided to just do the tank traps, and then we have some barbed wire. We'll talk about that. But this is all the cover they really had. So if you weren't really taking advantage of that, you were pretty much dead. So you will see a lot of the Americans here I have on my mock. They're taking advantage of that cover. So we got this guy here loading up a shotgun here, taking cover behind one of these tank traps. He came directly from that Higgins boat. We got this guy kind of using that as cover. He's got a BAR, B-A-R, Browning automatic rifle there. He's trying to take some shots up at the cliff. We've got some more guys here. This is actually a very old chrome-plated M1 Garand that I actually painted the brown on. I think I painted that back in 2012, so that's probably at least 5 years old. I painted that one myself. And you might see, for example, this is a custom painted one. This is actually one that a fan sent in. You'll see some of these. We've got that one there. We've also got an M1 carbine there. Any of the custom painted ones you see in this mock, those are ones that fans sent in. Other than this one here, all the other ones fans sent in. So I thank you guys. I shouted you guys out in previous episodes, but I want to thank you guys once again. Just adds that little bit more detail to the mock, which definitely helps. So moving on, we have a couple guys here. This guy has a grease gun. He's pushing up, trying to find some cover. That's the main thing, is once all those tank traps are taken, you're kind of fresh out of luck. This guy's got a shotgun, he's pushing up. You can see here we've got a downed soldier there. We've got another guy getting, or actually two guys here getting sprayed by some MG42 fire. One guy's got a Thompson. This guy's just lost his weapon. And you can see kind of the spray effect that I tried to portray with those clear studs. And then I put one white stud at the bottom as if it was hitting the sand. Then we've got, once again, I showed these kind of briefly. We got the crew there. If I get down low, you can see them just getting torn up there by that machine gun fire up top. We got this guy with that custom painted Grand. We got this guy here that got downed. He's got a 1911. This guy's taking some shots. He's got an M1 Garand. If I zoom in, you can see he's taking cover behind that tank trap very well. Got a couple more guys moving up. Lots of M1 Grands, lots of M1 carbines. We've got this guy here with a Thompson and a 1911. Another guy taking some shots. Explosions are going off everywhere. We've got a total of 3 explosions on the beach, and we've got multiple craters, as you can see, and some of the Marines are trying to use those as cover as well. And so for some of these explosions, what I used is the dark tan bush piece, put some larger and smaller flames, and I talked about this in previous episodes, how you can actually bend and arc some of these flames, and I actually put some little studs, as you can see there, and actually made it look like it was tossing up some dirt. So that's what I tried to do as far as the explosions go. Then what we have here is we have an M3 Stuart that rolled up on the beach and got totally destroyed. So you can see the tops blown off there. We got one guy here that was most likely one of the crewmen that jumped out. His arm popped off there. He had a shotgun in it and he's just totally bleeding out. We got the medic here with his hat or his helmet, and he's got a knife here. He's trying to help the guy out. We got a couple more guys using that tank as cover. Once again, trying to find that cover for the battle. And then we've got, let's see, the other explosion here. We've got 2 guys back here. One guy's kind of shooting over the shoulder. That's what a lot of people did, just trying to use everyone as cover there. More guys over here. This guy got down. He's trying to pull out a grenade kind of as a last-ditch resort. We got this guy just chilling behind a tank trap there. More guys downed over there. And then we got this guy pushing up once again to the tank trap. Let me stand up here so I can keep showing you guys this stuff. Then we got these guys coming out of this Higgins boat, and as you can see, some of the guys behind them got torn up pretty bad, so they're pushing up pretty quick. This guy's got an M1 carbine trying to shoot and run. A couple more downed guys there. We got another explosion over here. These guys are just all running for those tank traps, trying to get to some cover. Got some guys that died on the beach there, unfortunately. This guy went straight for that tank trap right by the beach. Smart move on his part. Then we got this guy doing the classic pose. I don't know if you guys remember from the Battle of Peleliu, I did that pose. A lot of you guys like that, so that's kind of a throwback Easter egg to that mock series. So he's trying to take some shots up at the Germans here, and it's very hard to hit these guys because they're dug in so well. They're either in bunkers or they're sunk down in the concrete bunkers down there, or they're hiding in the grass. So it's pretty hard to take shots, but they're just trying to put some pressure on them, and as we all know, they ended up doing it. So obviously this is working. So we got this guy moving up kind of out in the open, hoping he doesn't get shot. We got another downed guy right here. What I wanted to show in this kind of corner is a squad kind of just got wiped out. So we got this guy that tried to make it to the crater thinking it was some good cover, but he got shot. These guys were trying to make it over the barbed wire, but they just got annihilated. So we got a couple of downed guys there. We got like 4 of them. Another guy here thought he made it to the wall. He thought he made it to safety, but he ended up getting shot. This guy and this guy are just making a last-ditch run. This guy made it over here, so he's probably cheering them on, saying get over here pretty quick. And I put barbed wire along kind of the, I'd say the front section of the hill. You know, you can look up the D-Day, you know, they have a great picture where it shows the different obstacles that they put in. The tank traps came first and the barbed wire came second. Originally I had this flipped. I had the barbed wire up here and the tank traps back here, and it just wasn't accurate and it doesn't look as good. So I decided to change it and it looks much better. I do have a video out on my channel on how to make this barbed wire, or how to actually use the chain pieces to do that, so feel free to check that out. So back here I wanted to show one more detail on the tank. I did some dark tan pieces back here to kind of look like it kicked up some dirt or some wet sand as it rolled up, and you can see back here that the tank got pretty well destroyed. There's parts down there, the treads came off. So this tank is out of commission, and right now it's just kind of sitting there for cover. Hopefully it doesn't blow up a second time. And then moving over here, we've got a couple guys that made it to the wall. These guys are all safe. They're just wondering what to do next. You know, I was going to do some guys climbing up with the, they actually had mortars that had grappling hooks. I was going to do that. I thought that would be cool, but I decided not to, simply for time's sake. We got these 2 guys. They're probably buddies here. One's trying to take some shots up. Very hard to hit anyone up there. This guy got torn in half, just legs came off. Very unfortunate there. This guy's trying to run up, help him out. This guy just barely got missed by that mortar. His helmet came off and he's wondering what the heck to do next. This guy got downed as well. These guys are just trying to make a last-ditch effort to get to that wall. And a couple more guys taking some shots behind some tank tracks. Not tank tracks, tank traps. And yeah, other than that, I'm really excited how this mock turned out. I think the beach turned out awesome. I love the detailing effect I did with the random 1x2 placements. That definitely breaks it up and makes it look kind of more random. And that's one thing that you'll find is very hard to do in Lego, is make a scenery or landscape, make it look random without it having a pattern to it, because nature is very random in certain states, so it's very hard to replicate that. So I wanted to show another kind of far back image that there are more Americans up front because they're just getting unloaded than there are up towards the front of the actual hill. You know, basically showing that it's very hard to get from point A to point B. And a few guys did it, but as you can see, a majority of them are getting taken out up front towards the water there. So I wanted to showcase that, and you know, I think I did a pretty good job. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. You know, other than that, I'm trying to think, is there anything else I can show you guys detail-wise? That's pretty much it. We're going to probably move up to the German side now. There's a lot to show. The bunkers, actually, the tops come off, so I'll show you what's inside there. I'll go over all the scenery up top here, and we'll just keep moving on, guys. Next up, we're going to be talking about the German side. So as you can see, it is built up on a pretty large hill. This is, I would say, roughly, I don't know, at least 10 or 15 studs higher than the main beach level. So it's definitely built up. If you guys remember in the mock series, building rock structures like this is not easy. It's this front section right here that is the hardest, and then all this is just elevated. If I could show you behind here, which I might actually move the mock so I could, but it's basically almost hollow inside. It's just elevated plates up to this section here, but it's this first wall section. It's getting all of this detailing, and it's really just making it stable is the hardest part. So, you know, if I could actually push down on this, that it's not actually going to collapse. That's the hardest part of doing these rock structures. So I tried my best. I think it turned out pretty good. If I pan over here, you guys can see the front of it once again, and I think it looks pretty good. Once again, it's trying to make it look random and trying to make it look good at the same time. So I think I did my best, and I think I accomplished that. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. But I did try to make this side, and then the other side is actually just all dark gray just to make it look good. I didn't actually leave the random colored parts. So let's start off. We're going to go through and show you guys all the figures, all the scenery up here, and then we'll actually show you what's inside each bunker, because I don't think I even showed you guys that, but there's detailing in each one of these bunkers. So let's start up front here, and let's start showing you guys kind of what's going on. So we got this guy right here, which has a sniper, Car 98 with a scope. It's actually custom painted. Once again, this is by a viewer, so thank you to you who's ever sent this to me. I shouted you out. I can't remember everyone's name, so I'm sorry about that. But he's taking cover behind this bush, just kind of peeking the barrel of his gun out, and he's trying to take some shots down here at these Americans. So he's probably taking some out, doing some work. And we got some kind of a trail leading up to the bunker, and we've got right here, we've got a kind of a, I wouldn't say commander, maybe an officer there with his Luger out, basically yelling at the guys saying, come on, come on, come on, get up to the bunker. So we got this guy here in the back. I tried to use some different techniques and figure accessories. So we got some bandanas. I think they look pretty mean and cool. So we got this guy in the back, got an MP40, and then a little Easter egg there, if you guys know what I'm talking about with that gun. This guy's got another MP40. He's got a trench mace. This guy's got a Gewehr 43, it looks like. And they're moving up to the bunker here to try to help out the soldiers in there. You can see I did kind of a destroyed feature. I also did this in my Battle of Quilu, where I basically put two walls. So the first wall is destroyed, then the back wall is less destroyed. So it kind of gives symbolizes the reinforced concrete that these guys had on their bunkers. So that maybe got hit with some shrapnel from a bomb or something, but it shows that how thick that the bunkers actually were. And then we also got that in the back here. You can see that got hit by something, probably shrapnel from this crater here, and it's still standing up. It's just got a little bit of rubble coming out. So if I stand up, you guys can see kind of that trail a little bit better leading up to the bunker. We've got this crater back here where the German got hit. He's got his Car 98, once again custom painted by a viewer, and he's bleeding out in there. And then as far as the detailing goes, you guys remember I try to keep it as random as possible, but I try to keep something. So you can see I have little patches of olive green grass pieces. I think that definitely breaks up. If it was all just the regular green, I think it would look kind of bad. So I tried to break it up with the olive green. And then if you look past the grass, you can see little kind of spots of, I used dark tan, I used brown, let's see, dark green, regular green, even some tan, and I just tried to add more detail. If you look straight down, you can kind of see those patches there. They're just kind of all over the place just to add and break up the color, because if it was just all this dark tan and then just the green on top, I think that would look pretty bad. So you can see I tried to break it up with some different colors just to make it look that much better. And you can see on the front here, same thing, we got some bushes, some grass pieces, lots of grass pieces in not only green, but like I said, olive green. We got some barbed wire up here just to break it up, make it look a little bit different. We even got the barbed wire all the way going up to this bunker over here. We've got 3 explosions up here, and then we got this crater here. So this one here hit right in front of the bunker. That was almost a direct hit on these guys, but they missed just by a little bit, by a couple feet. You can see I got the studs up there like it's throwing up the dirt. Just add some cool detail there. This one on the other hand, there's a lot more going on back here. So same thing, big crater back here, and we actually got, this is kind of another Easter egg. I try to do this in all my videos. This guy's getting tossed up in the air, and he's probably not gonna make it after that. Then we got back here a guy that got hit. You can see his arms all bleeding out, his legs all red, and he's trying to put some bandages on him. We actually got the German medic helmet back there, and he's trying to patch him up as best he can. Then we've got these guys running in past. They just missed that hit, and they're running into the bunker with the Flak 88, trying to help these guys out, trying to get some cover in the concrete bunker. I'll go over that here in a second. I want to finish up the backside though. We got more guys back here. One guy's chilling in the grass here. He's got his MG34 posted up with a long belt of ammo, tripod mounted. He's ready to just do some damage down to these guys. He's probably just shooting to kill, and he's just probably spraying and praying. So we also got these fences back here. I wanted to add something, because if those fences weren't there, it'd just be a bunch of grass, and I think it would look kind of bad. And one thing that I've seen in books and documentaries is after like the bunkers in the Atlantic Wall, right behind it was a lot of farmland. So maybe this was just kind of some farmland or whatnot. So back here we got those fences. Once again, grass and just patches of different colored parts. We've got this guy here. He's actually he has a skeleton head on, so he's actually a dead German back there. He has a Panzerfaust, and he was just kind of waiting there hoping to get something. Maybe he got sniped or something, I'm not sure, but I thought that was a cool little Easter egg to use the skeleton head. And then we got another explosion back here, throwing up some dirt. And back here we've got more guys. We got another path leading up to this bunker on the right side, and these guys are moving up to it. So we got, these guys all have gas masks on. They might think, I don't know what they were thinking, but I wanted to add some, like I said, more different accessories in there. So I add some gas masks to those guys. These guys got a STG-44. This guy's got a Kar 98 FG-42. And this guy's got what looks like another Kar 98, and he's pushing up to the bunkers. So once again, lots of detail as far as underneath the grass goes, trying to keep it random, trying to keep it, you know, fresh and looking good. And if we look at the front of the bunkers, I can show you, I tried to add that kind of destroyed look. So you can see I didn't make, you know, it perfect. I tried to leave some studs open there, trying to make it look like maybe some bullets or shrapnel hit it. If we look at this other one here, you can see that as well. And just trying to keep it look, you know, warlike, destroyed. It's not going to be pristine. I guess I could have done better on the roofs. The roofs look pretty perfect, you know, looking back on it, but I think that looks pretty good as far as the back detail and whatnot. The front, I think it looks pretty good. So I guess we can move into the belly of the bunkers, and then we're actually going to take the tops off of these, because I don't think I've ever showed those. So we're going to do that here in a second. Let's just go ahead and start off with this first bunker here. So basically these tops just come completely off. They're just light bluish gray plates, and then they got tiles on the top, and it's just kind of held together by random plates underneath. So if I set this aside, so now we can see inside, and there's a lot going on in such a small little bunker. So we've got a total of 3 Germans in there. One's got a Kar 98, one's got an MG42, and one's got an MG34, and they're all just mowing down these Americans. That's probably what all that machine gun fire, for example, like right there is from. So all these guys up here are just raining lead down on the Americans. We've got one guy back there in the corner. He's all happy. He's got a little Easter egg. If you guys know what that's from, let me know in the comments down below. We got these guys here that are just coming in. They're just kind of you know, figuring out what to do. This guy's got a Panzerfaust, and he's digging in some ammunition there. There's a bunch of shells. This guy's brought up a grenade. I don't know what he thinks he can do with that. But once again, there you can see how thick the bunkers actually were, all the reinforced concrete. You can see how I used the larger arch pieces and then the smaller ones in the back. And I used the tiles and I just put some little 1x1s and other parts in there to kind of symbolize rubble, you know, from these two walls kind of getting exploded. So that's kind of what the inside of the bunker on the right side of the MOC looks like. So we can move over and show you guys what's in this one here. So same thing, just comes off, random parts on there. Doesn't really matter because you don't see it. So this one's got a lot of stuff going on as well. So you can see the soldiers running up in that doorway there. We've got, once again, the walls are just destroyed. We got rubble all over the place. We got a crate with some Kar 98s, a Panzerfaust in there. These two guys, I don't know what they're doing, but they're just kind of chilling, drinking, and talking, it looks like. We got one guy with an MG42, one with an MG34. Once again, shooting down at the Americans down here. Then we got one guy, kind of maybe an officer right there with a netted helmet with a Kar 98. He's just kind of watching these guys do their thing. And we got this guy here. There is some headsets there for maybe a radio, another MP40. He might be swapping out his Luger for a submachine gun there, preparing for a fight. But I just found it funny I put those guys in the corner back there. So that's kind of what the second bunker looks like. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. We're going to now move on to the inside of this bunker. There's a lot going on down here, so let's go ahead and do that. So I wanted to leave this one bunker roof off just so I can show you kind of the pathway down. So you can see there's some stairs right there that go down, then there's another set of stairs right there. So what I tried to do is make this MOC symmetrical as far as the bunkers go. The bunkers are the same distance off the side of the MOC here as that one is over there, and then this is straight down the center. So everything up here is symmetrical. I just wanted to make it look that way. Obviously it's not going to be perfect like that in real life. You know, there's a little bit of differences, like the rocks come up straight up to the bunker right there, which I think actually looks pretty cool, kind of like they built it into the stone, whereas this one, there's actually grass and dirt in front of it, but that adds a little bit more character to it. But as far as where they're placed, it's perfectly symmetrical and in line with this MOC, so I wanted to point that out. So down here, we've got a couple guys here. One's got an overmolded Kar 98. He looks like he's about to reload. He's got some ammo in his left hand. He's kind of hiding in the doorway and just exposing his right eye and his aim of sight down here to pick off some more Americans down there. Then we got another guy with an MG34 down there with a bunch of ammo, and he's kind of posted up, and he's just spraying and praying down on these Americans. As you can see, pretty easy targets when they're out in the open like that. We got another guy here with an FG42 sitting down in the grass, posted up with his bipod, or yeah, bipod. And we got this guy kind of taking cover with a Kar 98. Maybe he's reloading. Once again, we got these soldiers running in to try to help these guys out as some reinforcements. You can see that this was a concrete bunker, and then this actually caved in, and so that's kind of why all this dirt's pouring in right here. I thought that would be kind of cool to keep it kind of random. It would look kind of weird if it was a perfect box. So the dirt and all that is kind of pouring in there. You can see just a bunch of empty shells from this Flak 88 here. So this is a Flak 88 designed by my buddy Elliot, Lego Guy 830. Feel free to check him out. And he let me design, or actually he has a good how-to video on this, and it's a great build. If you guys want to check it out, I might be making this a kit in the future if he'll let me. So I decided to put a Flak 88 in here, and it's just shooting off at everything. So we got the guy sitting at the Flak 88 up here, and then we've got a guy back there loading up shells. This guy's loading them. He's got an MP40 there just in case. He's got a bunch of shells back there, and like I said, just shell casings everywhere. I bet this would be so loud with it just being dug in like that. We got another guy down there with an MP40 just chilling. Once again, we got a custom painted Kar 98 there. They're just taking shots. We got two guys with some rifles there. They're just popping shots off at these Americans down here. And then we got this guy back here with the MG34 just spraying them down with lead. So down here, they're really sunk in. They got plenty of cover, obviously, and they're pretty hard targets to hit for those Americans unless they start chucking nades, but that's a pretty long distance to be doing that. So these guys definitely have the advantage up here, but I think the bunker, all this turned out pretty good. I just used light bluish gray parts, tiles on the top, and then as you can see, there's another good view of the stairs. The stairs are exactly the same on both sides, so you can see the stairs leading up to the bunker door there. And there's kind of a little platform there, and then I tried to stair step the bunker walls to kind of accommodate for those stairs there. So that's kind of the bunker. So other than that, guys, that's the top of the German side, and I showed you the American side. So I think we're gonna wrap this video up because I don't think there's much more to show you guys. Once again, let's wrap this video up. I'm gonna talk about what there is left to do for this MOC because there is a lot more to do. There are more videos to come. So let's go talk about that right now. Okay guys, that covers it for the first finale episode of Building D-Day in LEGO. I want to thank you guys once again for all your support on this MOC series and then on my channel in general. We've definitely grown in subscribers over the past 40 weeks that we've been working on this MOC, so I thank you so much for that. Like I said, if you guys want the chance to win one of those military Jeeps, I'll be giving that away in next week's episode, or I'll be doing a separate video. I'm not too sure yet, but all you have to do is leave a like on the video, comment down below, make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel, and you'll be entered to win. And like I said, all the figures you see on the MOC are actually for sale. They're on my website right now. Link in the description, you can go check them out. We got 4 Americans and 4 different Germans available, so check those out. And you know, a lot of you guys might be thinking, this isn't the last video, is it? And you're right. I'm going to be doing another finale video next week on, it's going to be just a montage of video and pictures over with some music. And I do that with all my MOCs. I do this video, which is me going in depth, talking about everything, and then I'll do the montage video. And then we still have to take this MOC apart. So that'll be probably 3 episodes after that video of me taking this apart, talking about how I sort all my parts and whatnot. A lot of you guys seem to like that style video as well, so I'll be doing that. And then once that's done, then we start thinking about what my next MOC is going to be. So if you guys want to start some comments and start talking about that in the comments down below, feel free to start giving me some ideas as to what my next MOC should be. I'm not too sure yet. I don't think it's going to be World War I or World War II. I'm thinking modern military or maybe something from a video game. But I'm not too sure yet. But I want to thank you guys once again for all your support on this MOC series. I think it turned out pretty good. I'm curious to see what you guys think in the video. I know I haven't been showing kind of this section of it in the, you know, the previous building videos simply because I wanted to save it for this episode, and that was kind of a risk on my part. I hope I did a good job. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys learned some building techniques along the way, and I definitely learned a lot as far as building and some history goes because I've been doing a lot of research. But yeah guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope you guys enjoyed this series. If you guys want to check out the full series, there's a playlist right there with all the episodes. And if you guys want to check out the last building video, you can check it out right here. Make sure you guys subscribe right here because we got plenty more videos on this awesome MOC to come. And you'll also be entered then to win that military Jeep. So thank you so much for watching, guys. And I will see you next Sunday for another video on this D-Day MOC.